Something strange tried to crawl into my house, and if it weren't for my dog, I'm not sure I'd be alive right now. This isn't a story from the internet or a horror movie. It's something that really happened to me. It started on a quiet, ordinary night. A night that should have been forgettable. But it ended with something clawing its way into my home. I was living in a small rental house near campus. My parents owned it, and they let me stay there while I finished college. It was the perfect setup. Freedom without the crushing weight of rent and bills. They wanted me to focus on school, and honestly, life was simple. That night, I came home around 7 p.m. with a bag of Thai takeout and a plan: eat, procrastinate, and maybe start my essay before midnight. Nothing unusual, except for Vinny. Vinny is my dog, a massive black-briered with thick, shaggy fur and a heart of gold. He's usually calm, composed, and chill, but that night, he was anything but calm. The second I stepped through the door, he launched at me, jumping, whining, circling me like a tornado. "Whoa! Hey, what's up, boy?" I laughed, trying to calm him, but he didn't stop. He never jumps on me. Ever. I thought maybe he was out of water, but his bowl was full. Maybe he was hungry. But when I offered him food, he barely sniffed it. Instead, he paced back and forth across the living room, eyes darting toward the back of the house. Something felt off, but I brushed it off. Maybe he was just excited. Dogs get weird sometimes, right? I plopped down on the couch with my noodles, turned on some reruns of Archer, and tried to ignore the uneasy feeling creeping in. But Vinny wouldn't stop. He planted himself right in front of the TV, barking, loud, sharp, desperate barks that echoed through the house. He pawed at the carpet. He whined, then growled, then whined again. I sighed, frustrated. "Vinny, enough. What's gotten into you?" That's when I started to feel it too. The heavy silence in the house, the subtle wrongness in the air. Something wasn't right. I checked the locks. Front door, windows, garage, all secure. I even turned on every light in the house, just in case. "Go outside," I told him, opening the dog door. He hesitated, then bounded into the backyard. I tried to focus on my paper, an essay on native son for my film class. But after about an hour, I still had nothing but a blinking cursor and a growing sense of dread. Then I heard it. Thump. Something heavy hit the ground outside. Then a dragging sound, like something scraping against the siding of the house. I froze. My hands hovered over the keyboard. "Probably a raccoon," I whispered to myself. "Maybe the wind." Then Vinny barked. Not the playful bark he gives the mailman, but a warning bark. Deep, sharp, angry. I rushed to the door and called for him. He barreled inside, hackles raised, lips curled back in a snarl I'd never seen before. I slammed the dog door shut and locked it, but he didn't relax. He sat there, staring at the dog door, growling, breathing heavy. I tried calling the non-emergency police line. "Hi, my dog's acting really strange, and I've heard some noises outside. Could someone maybe just drive by?" They said they would. 2 officers showed up, checked the yard, and told me everything looked fine, but Vinny didn't believe them. He barked until I put him in the laundry room, hoping he'd calm down. I tried to write again, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was out there. Around midnight, I finally finished my essay. I was exhausted, mentally and emotionally. I let Vinny out of the laundry room. He rushed straight to the dog door and just stared. "Come on, boy," I called from the stairs. But he didn't follow. He just stood there, whining softly. That's when I knew. This night wasn't over. I left my bedroom door open for him and tried to sleep. I hadn't even closed my eyes when Vinny screamed. I'd never heard a dog make a sound like that. It wasn't barking. It wasn't growling. It was screaming. I flew down the stairs, heart hammering. A crash echoed from the kitchen. Pots? Pans? I didn't care. Eyes locked on the dog door. What do you think it was? In the kitchen. A creature. Dog door wasn't where it was supposed to be. Something. It was halfway across the room. Let me know in the comments on the floor. And if you enjoyed this story, through the hole, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. My brain refused to understand next time the thing might come through your door. Emaciated arm, too long. My parents didn't believe me. Of course, fingers were jointed in the wrong places. Stressed, each one overworked. Tipped, but when they went back the next morning, its skin laughing. God, its skin. The dog door was pale blue in the middle of the kitchen. Mold green. The backyard stretched tight over bones, like a war zone, like a corpse. Grass torn left in water. Deep gouges. It pulled itself forward, and in front of the door, its face, long, deep claw marks, carved into the hardwood black. They said it must have been Vinny, and a mouth hanging. But I know my dog too wide, and Vinny was trying to save me. I'd never spent another night. It wasn't human. I packed my things before sunset, and I moved back home. Coming in. Now I'm getting Vinny registered as a therapy dog. Wanted, because I never want to be without Vinny's collar. I don't know. Sprinted for the garage barefoot, but I tore out of the driveway in my pajamas. If Vinny hadn't been there, not even stopping, I wouldn't be here.